Hinduism. Okay, today you'll see a lecture on Hinduism, and the skill you'll be looking at is the short answer question. Now, for that one, you'll have to uh, go on and try and look at that uh, in another link. But again, that's the skill for today is the short answer question, and you should also be looking at Buddhism and how that relates to Hinduism. So, what we're looking at again is the foundations period, and Hinduism is the oldest religion. What we're looking at is the development of cultural traditions. We looked at Confucianism already, Taoism, and legalism, and now we're going to look at Hinduism and how that developed into an influential cultural tradition, especially in South Asia and Southeast Asia, and that means India in South Asia. So we're going to look at what are the four castes and what group of people does each caste represent. Um, Hinduism is based on a caste system that was brought by the Aryans during an Aryan migration. They met with the people that were already living in South Asia, and they created this caste system. The very people at the top were the priest or the Brahmin. Next in the group are the military and the kings, so the rulers themselves. Then the business community. Then we have the peasants at the very bottom, but that's not the actual end of the bottom. There is also a group at the very bottom called the untouchables, the Dalit, or untouchables. Now, according to Hinduism, everybody plays a role in this hierarchy, and everybody does their part. So, for example, the Brahmins are the mouth, the arms are the kings and the military. They're the ones that do stuff, and the legs are the business community, and the feet are uh, the peasants. So notice the untouchables aren't even part of this. That's why they're untouchables. They're not even considered part of the society or helpful in the society in any kind of way, although they are. So this is the handout we used to use. So if you want to pause the video and kind of copy it and follow along as you do, I'm also going to leave an attached file so you can print it out if you want. Now I do a lot of these, and I used to print them out a lot, um, but it got to be where I was wasting too much paper. So if you want to copy it, um, you want to go ahead and do that. So the founder, it's not really known who founded the religion. It developed over thousands and thousands of years. There's no unified church. There are different temples that pray to different deities in different areas in India. There's no unified, again, church. The traditions vary from place to place, depending again on the deity in that particular place. Sacred texts, there are several. There are several. The most important ones are the Vedas, the Upanishads, and the Ramayana. Also, the Bhagavad Gita. Now, the Brahman, like I said, is the everything. It's the supreme eternal force that controls all of the universe. The the force of the universe. That's the Brahman. Brahman exists in all living things. Not only do you exist within Brahman, but Brahman exists in you. All of the Hindu gods are part of Brahman. So you have different Hindu gods um, that are part of that Brahman or different faces of the Brahman. Dharma. The caste system is based on this Dharma. Dharma are the moral duties one must fill based on your caste. So, depending on your caste, you're supposed to have some things to do. You have some responsibilities. If you fulfill those responsibilities, you're fulfilling your dharma. That's what's taught in the Hindu text. There's universal dharma, then there's dharma between men and women, dharma between parent and children, dharma between kings and subjects. So there's a duty that women are supposed to fulfill towards their men, a duty that men are supposed to fulfill towards women, same with parent and children, and most importantly with kings and their subjects. And it's based on your karma. Your karma, and this is something you hear about a lot in our popular society. Oh, getting karma. And that's the amount of good and bad that you do. Your karma is based on how well you follow that dharma, your duties. So if you're following your dharma, then your karma is good because you got more good than bad. And that's the eventual goal, to have more good karma than bad karma because you're following your dharma. That ends up culminating in your whole life. So your whole life, you look at things, you go, oh, my karma, boom, good. And that'll determine your next life. So in your next life, you could return as somebody in a higher caste system, like a Brahmin or, a businessman. Or if you do bad, you got bad karma, you did more bad than good, then your next life you'll end up as an untouchable, say. If you're an untouchable and you did that, then you might end up as some sort of animal, a cow or even an insect, depending on how badly you behaved. Then there's samsara, re-entering the flesh, or some people in the West call it reincarnation. When the body dies, the soul is reborn into a new body, and again, that's based on your karma and your dharma. Did you fulfill your duties, and how much of that karma do you have that's good or bad? You're eventually trying to reach moksha, or salvation of the soul. The soul reunites with the Brahma. That's moksha. When your soul, you did so many good things, you got to be a Brahmin, boom, you're at the top. That you were a good Brahmin. I mean, you were a good priest. Not a good Brahmin, a good priest. You're a good priest, and you did all the great things. You were awesome, and you finally reunite with Brahman, with everything, with the soul of the universe, with the supreme and eternal force. Uh, so once again, the only people that can get there are the people at the very top. The Brahmin priest can achieve moksha. If you're, say, a businessman, you got to be a priest first before you get to be part of the everything. That moksha is achieved through um, asceticism, and that's abandoning all the desires of life. So you have to abandon all desiring of finances, all desiring of love. You just become part of everything in that way. You also do it through yoga and meditation and studying the Hindu texts. You do all of that. Let's go back. We go do all of that. These are aesthetics. These guys, ascetics. They have abandoned everything. They've given their life to being these Brahmin priests, and they are the ones that can reach moksha. So again, here's the Hindu life cycle. You got the caste system and your duties. You die. You fulfill your duties. Good karma. You reincarnate as a Brahmin, and you end up in the moksha, or moksha, the moksha. So now, what I need you to do. This is very simple now. Confucian hierarchy, social hierarchy. Compare that to Hindu social hierarchy. What you're going to do, again, you want to look at the how to answer a short answer question, but the question is going to be explained A. Explain one difference in the social hierarchies of Hinduism and Confucianism. B. Explain one similarity. And C. Once again, explain another difference in the belief systems of Hinduism. Now, notice the wording. In A, you're explaining a difference in the social hierarchies in the society. In B, you're explaining a similarity in the society and social hierarchies. And in C, you're explaining a difference in the belief systems of Hinduism and Confucianism. Whenever you do a short answer question, you have to really read it, try to reread it to see if you missed anything. Always assume you missed something so you can go back. Don't try to just speed through. Okay, I know what to do, because that means you might get it wrong. Once again, go back and see how to answer a short answer question. A one word answer is not sufficient when the short answer question is asking you to explain. A one sentence answer is also not necessarily uh, possible where you're going to get full credit if you answer in just one sentence. So again, go back and see how to answer your short answer questions. Read the prompt to yourself. Now, we did it in partners and last year, so you're going to have to annotate on your own today. I'm going to let you do this at home.